Hello, year 7. Today we are going to study a little bit for the exam this Monday you have. So stay tuned, and well, this document I already sent it to you. In this video, or well, in these videos, we are going to solve this. We are going to solve this exam, the model number 3. You have another 2 models for you to practice. So let's begin. First question of the exam, we need to complete this table. Well, to complete the table, you'll see that we have 3 different rows for percentage, fraction, and decimal. To complete the percentage as a fraction is as easy as writing the percentage divided by 100. So if you do it until here, you're okay, but remember you always have to simplify. 8 over 10 is just going to be 8 over 10. Remember to simplify, we can do it again, we can take the half. So here is going to be 4 over 5. Percentage as a decimal is going to be 0.80. Remember, we only have to move the decimal 2 places left. And just like that, we finish the exercise. Well, this part. Let's continue with the others. If we want to write this fraction as a percentage, please remember that we need to multiply the fraction by 100. 2 over 3 times 100 is going to be a little headache, but it's not going to take that long. We have to multiply 2 times 100 because we cannot simplify 103. So we have 200 divided by 3. We can do the long division very quick. So we have 200, 3 here, 3 times 6 is going to be 18. Again we have 2, we take down the 0, again we have 6, 18, and you will realize that even though I add 2 decimals, I take again the 0, this is going to be 20 again, this is going to be just 6.66%. So again, if you want to convert fraction as a percentage, you only have to multiply by 100. So this is going to be 66.66%. Now, this as a decimal is going to be very easy. We have to move the decimal 2 places left. So it's going to be just 0.66 and 66. We finish with that. Now, decimal to convert into percentage, we do the opposite way. Instead of moving it left, we are going to move the point right. So you may see is 45%. 45% to convert as a fraction. Remember, we just have to divide by 100. We can simplify this. Divided by 5 and divided by 5. It's just going to be 9 over 20. We cannot do more simplification here. This one is quite big, but it doesn't mean that we cannot work with it. 175, we have to divide it by, well, 100. And you may wondering, Mister, but how can I make this? How can I simplify it? Well, we can divide this by 5. 175 divided by 5 is just going to be here. 5 times 3 is 15. We have 2, we take down the 5. 5 times 5 is just going to be 35. It's an exact division. So we can simplify this by 5 and by 5. This is 35 and this is 20. Again, we can divide it by 5, it will be easier. Divided by 5 is just going to be 7. And this is going to be 4, so we have 7 fourths here as an answer. And here as a decimal, again, we just move the point from here twice. So we have 1.75 as a decimal. Let's continue here. As you can see, we have the full table. In the exam, the table is not going to be that long, I promise. But this rest of exercises, I will leave it for you to finish it. In the exam, you are only going to fill from 4 to 5 rows, no more, because you can see it's a little bit tedious, and as long as you do the 4 or 3, it's okay. Let's continue with the next exercise. Number 2. In number 2, we have the following. Find what percentage represents this. So when we are looking for what percentage will represent a number, 225 of 750, we have to understand that 750 represents the 100%, and this we don't know. We just don't know what percentage represents. So we are going to use the classic rule of 3. Well, 3 simple rule. So we know that 750 represents the 100%. But the question here is, what percentage will represent the 225? As you may see here, in this situation, we have to multiply the ones that are in diagonal. So we will multiply this cross, and then we are going to divide it by the other one. So let's try to do that quick. The result here is just going to be 225 times 100 over 750. You may see we can simplify here the 0 and the 0, but also you can simplify it by 5. We can divide 75 by 5 and 10 by 5. We can do an auxiliary operation to divide 75 times divided by 5. So you may see that this is going to be, and here 15. So 10 divided by 5 is 2, and 75 divided by 5 is 15. And you may not see it, but you can still make this smaller. So we have 225 times 2 over 15. We can still divide this by 5. By 5 by 5, 225. We are going to divide it by 5. 5 times 4 is going to be 20. We have 22 minus 20 is just 2. We take down the 5. We have 45 here. Here the result, it will be an exact division. So 225 divided by 5 will give me 45. And 15 divided by 5, you may see, is just going to be 3. So we are making this smaller because we don't want to work with big numbers. So we have 45 times 2 will be 90 divided by 3. 90 divided by 3 is just 30. So in that way we can see that our result is going to be 30%. Now, there is another way that a student mentioned during the class, and I will give the credit of it. Yuvia, she mentioned something that I agree with. I always like to simplify expressions, simplify the numbers, but if you don't, are we going to get the same result? Well, we are going to see that. We know that the result for this operation is 30%, but let's try to do what Yuvia did. Well, what Yuvia mentioned. So, what Yuvia mentioned, it was that if we do the same operation we have the result as 225 times 100 divided by 750. Can I do the division? Well, my personal suggestion, let's get rid of this 0 because it's quite big. Can we do the division big? Yes, we can do it. We have to multiply 225 times 10 is 2250 divided by 75. This, as a result, should give me the same, right? Let's see if it's true. So here we have 75. Let's try with 3. 3 times 5 is 25. We have 2. 3 times 7 is 21 plus 2 is 3 times 7 is 21 plus 2 is 23. Here I make a mistake because this is not 2. 3 times 5 is 15, so we add 1. 3 times 7 is 21 plus 1 is 22. Excellent. This is going to be 0. We take down the 0, and remember, whenever you take down a number, you have to look for another. A number that multiplied by 75 will give you 0 is just 0. So yes, you can see we have the same result if you just don't simplify, but I personally recommend to simplify so our numbers will be smaller. Now, let's continue with the B exercise. Let's take this here. Let me just check if I am recording. Okay, it's very good. Alright, so we need to find a number that represents the 100% if 180 represents the 24%. In this situation, it's a little bit tricky because we don't know the 100%. So we need to look for it. We only know that 180 represents the 24%. But the question is, what number will represent the 100%? And again, we have to use the rule of 3. Is as simple as it sounds. Our result is going to be 180 times 100 divided by 24. Again, my recommendation, as I said before, we can simplify things. We can take the half and the half, 12 and 50. Again, we can take the half and the half. This is 6. This is 25. You may wondering, let me rewrite this. Can we still simplify it? Of course we can do. Here we have 6 now. I can take the half of 180 and the half of 6, which is 90, and here 3. And 90 I can divide it by 3. I can simplify it very easy. The 90 divided by 3 is just going to be 30, and 3 divided by 3 is just 1. So now I only have 30 times 25, which is a very simple multiplication. If I do it here very fast, because I know you kids, you cannot use a calculator. 5 times 0 is just 0, 5 times 3 is 100, well, 15, we have the invisible 0, 2 times 0 is just 0, 2 times 3 is just 6, 0, 5, 7, 750. So 750 is going to be the number here that I'm missing. So the result is just 750. Okay, we are in question number 2 and we just spent 15 minutes. Let's continue. Okay, we have to increase or decrease the numbers. Let's copy this and let's go back here. Here I'm going to teach you the easiest way to do it. If you have a different method, Marcelo Cortez, that is for you. You have a different method, of course you can do it. If I want to increase something, we have the following situation. In number 3, we have 250 and we want to increase it. So we need to understand that 250 right now is the 100%. And if we want to increase it, that means that I'm going to add the 18%. So 100 plus 18 is just 118. Meaning that my result is going to be 118%. Therefore, I can work again with the rule of 3. And using the same logic, I can say 250 represents the 100%. But we are looking for the 118%. So again, our result is going to be 250 times 118 divided by the other number 100. If you realize I can divide these things, I will do it very easy. I take the 0, I take the 0. I can divide it 25 by 5, which is 5. 10 divided by 5 is just 2. And you may see that I can even take the half of 118 because now what I only have is 5 times 118 over 2. The half of 118 is just 59 and the half of 2 is just 1. If you are wondering from where did I get this, I just took the 118 divided by 2. 2 times 5 is 10. We have the 1 down, we take the 8 down, and you may see here the result is just what I wrote. So the half of 180 is 59 and the half of 2 is just 1, leaving me with a simple operation of 5 times 59. 5 times 59, we can work with that. 5 times 9 is just 45. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 4 is 29. 295. That is our result, what the 118% represents. Now let's try to work with number 4. 420, I need to decrease it. Now in this situation it's a little bit tricky because when you have to increase, you add. But when we have to decrease, it's completely the opposite thing. So we have 420 that represents the 100%, but we need to decrease it. So if we want to decrease it, we are going to subtract, we are not going to add. If I subtract 100 minus 30, it's going to be the 70%. So I'm looking for the 70% here. Therefore, I need to write here what I'm looking for. And let's write our result. So we multiply 420 times 70 over 100. And if you are clever, because I know you are, we can simplify this 0 with 1 0 down, and we are going to simplify this 0 with another 0 down, leaving me with a very, very small operation of 42 times 7. 42 times 7 is something we can work with. 7 times 2 is just 14, we have 1. 7 times 4 is 20, 28 plus 1 is 29. So we have 294 as the result. It's very funny because this is 295, this is 294. It's just one number of difference. Now, again, let me be clear. When we have to increase, it's adding. We have to add. But when we decrease, is you have to subtract. All right, let's try to be a little bit quicker here. We have these different operations. I am only going to do one of them. Pay attention because this is a gift for you. We need to calculate the following exercises. We have to express them as percentage. Now, you may see that here I have some, in my opinion, it's something simple, but I'm going to change it for educational purposes. You have 1.2 minus 60% minus 0.4 plus 10%. Now, in the exam, you may see something that I want to explain. You may see, for example, a fraction. So we need to know what to do if we have this situation. So this is just added. I know here I am missing that. I'm very sorry. So what we have to do first is everything we have to convert it as a percentage, and that's what we are going to do. 1.2, to make it as a percentage, we are going to move the point, the decimal point, 2 places on the right, leaving that in 120%. The 60% is already in percentage. Again, this is in decimal, we move it twice, leaving us with 40%. We already have the 10% as a percentage. And the last thing here is that we have a fraction. And remember, to make a fraction as a percentage, we only multiply it by 100, which is 100 divided by 4. We can say the half is 50 and 2. And the half again is just going to be 25%. So here we have 25%. Alright, let's do the whole operation. 120 minus 60 is just 40%. Oh, sorry, 60. Then if you see, I will copy and paste this. Now we have 60 minus 40 is just 20%. Let me copy this. This is 30%. 30% my plus 25 is going to be 55%, and we finish. We just finished that. Now let's continue. The other one I will leave it for you. If you are watching the video, I hope you're watching it. This is going to count for 2 extra points in the final term test. It's something that you have to tell me quiet. If you announce it to the whole classroom, it's not going to count. Right? It's just for you to, I'm making sure you're paying attention. Nothing else. Alright, let's go with the easy part. Let me copy this. And I think this is going to be just the first part of the video. This list shows the ages in year of students in science class. Okay, so we have all the ages. We have to construct a frequency table. So we are going to write all the years here and the tally and the frequency. All right. The age of the students are going to be from the lowest, which you will realize is 10, to the highest. So if we fill this table, here we have until 14. So you see we only have until 14 years old. And let's count the students that they have 10 years. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as a tally, this will look like this, 5, and our frequency is just a number. Let's go with the ones with 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, we have 5. Let's go with the ones that they have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, as a tally, this will look like this: 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 students that they are 12 years old. Let's go with 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another 7 students. 5, 6, 7. This is 7 again. And the ones of 14, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Very few of them. And just like that, just get 5 points of the exam. Find the percentage now, number 8. In number 8, let me write in this white space, we need to find the percentage of 12-year-old students, right? So if I want to know the percentage of the 12-year-old students, first I need to know what is the 100%, all the students, right? We can find that out just adding 5 plus 5 is just 10. This is going to be 10 here. Here we have 14, so we have 24 plus 4 is 28 students, right? We have 28 students in total. That is very important. So as a total, we have of 28 students. But I want to know only the percentage of 12-year students. So we know that the total of the students, or well, the ones that they represent, the 100%, is 28. So we have 28 students, 100%. And remember, this is all. The question now, for the ones that they are 12 years old, we have 7 students that they are 12 years old. YO means years old, by the way. Y, years, O, old. Years old, Y-O. Okay, so we have 7 students and we are looking for the percentage. Let's look at the percentage. Our results. It's just going to be 7 times 100. And we divide it by 28. You might be surprised. 7 and 28 can be simplified. 1 and 4. We just have 100 divided by 4, which is 25%. That is the answer of number 8. 25% are 12 years old. So this is going to be the first part of the video. So I don't want to make it that long, and we are going to continue with the second one.